Yeah,
You're the Maru.
it was kind of my specialty hero, you
Oh,
could
I
say.
see. Pause 4. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Um, let's check it out. And you're pretty high rank. You might be the highest ranked person I've coached, so that's kind of cool.
Really.
Yeah.
I've I've climbed a lot. Well, I dropped a lot. I was immortal for a while, but I
Okay,
dropped to
nice.
ancients, and I'm climbing again.
Cool.
Got
How
the
much Dota
diamond.
do you play?
I've had a lot of free time lately, so a lot, like at least 10 games a week.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you're playing Brew 4. I can't say I've ever played Brew 4, but I will definitely give you general Pause 4 tips. I play a lot of Pause 4, so this will be good. I don't coach a lot of
Oh,
Pause 4 players either. This should be interesting.
crazy. Yeah, position four has been my best role according to the report. King
Okay.
only positive win rate.
Sorry, what was that?
That was my only positive win rate of all
Gotcha.
my players.
Okay. So you put that word down.
I can't see actually what you're seeing.
You can't?
No,
Um, Let me just stop
wait,
and restart it then. It's working now?
what? Okay, I had to click. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about this ward because you're like a more advanced player. I'm gonna like go into like more advanced concepts.
That's fine. Yeah,
I'm not sure. It's your Underlord. What was your idea
I've
with this ward? Or do you
I've
do this a
actually
lot?
been using. Yeah, I actually do that a lot. This one it lets me see pulls and the other support when they're being annoying or where they're going.
Okay. My only
At least
that makes sense to me. Like it's not blocking the pole, and like a lot of times it'll get dewarded if you like throw it back here. Um, so I get that. My only concern here is that sometimes pause fives block the camp with a sentry right here,
yeah, that
and
happens.
then
It
they
gets
just get a
rewarded.
free deward on you.
Yep.
Um, so I guess if you're aware it happens, that's my only concern really. Like if you think they're going to be trying to block your pull camp, where in this lane they probably would want to. I don't think they're going to want to be like contesting you over on the side. An Underlord. I don't know. I guess that would be my
Oh
only
yeah,
concern.
yeah, that happens sometimes. I try to place it a little bit on the edge.
Right, yeah, yeah. Um, what is your, just before the lane starts, what is your idea of like how Brewmaster
This
Panda lanes up against like Slark Skyref?
I was first pick here. I usually first pick because really since I know the hero, it doesn't matter if it's countered. Like it's not very good versus Slark. Gyro can kill all the pandas, but my idea is I'll go after Sky every fight and lift DK.
Well, no, I don't mean like for the game. I just mean for the talking about the lane specifically. Like if you
Okay,
think about you and Underlord laning against what I assume
Slark.
is a Slark Skywrath because we saw the sky.
Yeah, it's a hard lane. It's actually a very hard to clear the lanes because it's very greedy. So I usually lose lanes unless I have a magic damage offlaner, which Underlord kind of is, but not really. He is probably gonna get his passive. So I'm just gonna try to be annoying and yeah, make the support waste the regen and get pulls off and try to get a fast six.
Okay. I guess we'll see how that goes. I'll see how it plays out, and then I'll maybe offer some feedback on like what I think. But
Okay.
let's see how it plays out first.
Yeah. So it's just starting on being annoying.
Right, right. Interesting. If your offlaner is trying to block his creeps, I wouldn't block theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I always try to get it our creeps in the tower, but I don't really communicate that to our offlaner.
Yeah. Well, just make sure you're on the same page, because I don't think it's always good to do that. I think you just want it to depend on the matchup. Like at your level, like you absolutely need to be considering like the specifics of the matchup and like what you want to happen in the lane. I mean, even if you're not correct in every assessment you make, you want to at least be basing your decisions based off what you think is good, based on the heroes in the lane. Because like say
Yeah,
like for example, this was like a Morphling carry. Like a lot of times, Morphling carries like their whole goal is to like get solo XP for the first wave, and they like it to be under their tower and like get level 2 super fast, and they don't care if the lane equilibrium like goes up, right? So like if you did it in that situation, like it wouldn't be helpful at all. Like it would, you know.
yeah. I
Versus
actually never
sometimes I
thought.
think it could be good.
No, yeah, I actually never thought that they could get level 2 faster like that. Slip my mind.
Yeah,
Even though it's obvious.
a really important concept of like the side lanes is like who gets level 2 first.
Mm,
Um, so that's something you want to keep in mind. Is like if you're helping them get level 2 first, there's definitely disadvantages to that.
true. Yeah.
Okay, so you block the small camp. This guy he took his passive.
I normally get Q unless like we could be offensive. Then I get the second skill, right?
Okay. Yeah, I would it makes sense to me that you would want to take Q unless something specifically is comboing the W. I guess W could be good in some situations. I don't mind the Evans field yet. I think here, like in this situation, um, you want to think about like you're not useful here in the lane.
Yeah.
You're this probably happens to you a lot if you pick Brew 4 a lot. You're not useful in the lane. So it's probably best to like get in the habit of body blocking the small camp at least on the first minute, even if you've
Hmm.
sentryed, and maybe even especially if you've sentryed, because then they don't know that you sentryed it, and then they won't immediately deward you if you're body blocking this, because you're not doing anything here, right? You agree?
Yeah. No, I can't right click a start
Yeah.
because
And
of
he's
this.
and this guy is smart. Like he body blocks your big camp, and you can't really stop him. So what would be better is if he's body blocking this big camp, is for you to just be body blocking the small camp. Um,
Yeah.
Because what happens here is like it doesn't spawn. He knows it's blocked, and he immediately dewards you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I got a
okay,
sentry
found
already.
your item. And he didn't have to use a sentry on his part to like block you. So I think this is fine though. The trading, the clap is good. Like he can't really man up to you at all.
Yeah. If I get close, I think that was why I skilled it.
Yeah.
But yeah, first couple of levels actually kind of feels like I'm griefing, but
Well, it
it's
depends on what it depends
it,
what you're doing. There, like, I think this has gone okay so far, all things considered. Because the lane is back, and you know your core is pretty safe, and they're not pulling. So I think this is pretty reasonable.
Radiant's courier got killed. You know how much stuff he was carrying?
like here I'm just trying to take his attention, I think.
Yeah, no, this is fine. It's fine. Let me speed up a little bit more. I don't want to spend way too much time here.
Hmm.
So he's trying to pull.
I think I die here.
Yeah, stopping the pull.
Is that worth? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Um, it's kind of hard because you're just in a difficult situation with your lack of like regen. Your courier died. So I think what would have been better here is if you had. Let's see. So, because you went boots first, so like if you play this way, where like you do you always go boots first when you play pause for Panda?
I usually get boots first when I have a melee off lane. If not, I question her.
Okay. So to me, there's like two ways that like you could feasibly want to play as pause for Panda. Like way number one is like you don't buy boots. You buy like some more normal regen items. I mean, maybe you get a windlace. I don't know. And then you like are okay with like trading with like the 5.
Yeah.
And this kind of applies to a lot of melee heroes that buy boots first, like Earthshaker or like sometimes Nyx or like Clockwork. Like these heroes do not like contribute in the lane that much. Like the reason they buy boots is either A, to like be able to run away from like the 5 and like be able to do shit without getting caught, basically. Or it's like to increase your kill threat. So like in this lane, you're not really looking for kills, unless they like really fuck up, because like you have no levels, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
So
still level 1.
another reason you get boots is like if you're playing in a hard lane and you need to do some dodgy shit. And dodgy shit is like you go up here and drag this creep wave from behind the tower like down, like back here. Are you familiar with that idea?
Yeah, I used to do that a couple patches ago. I think how much this
So
patch.
it's not something you should do just to do, but it's something you should do if it's like the only thing for you to do that would be helpful, or if you think it would work for your situation. Because like, let's say you do it here, right? If you're up here and you grab this creep wave that's coming,
Stops the pull. Yeah.
yeah, it stops him from pulling because you can drag it into the small camp and block it. Like you can like be here and the range creep can be here, and like it'll block the camp from spawning again, and then you can continue pulling it down. And if Skyrath's good, he might try and like pull this hard camp like into what you're doing.
Yeah.
So he might get the pull off anyways if he's like really good, but like it kind of like prevents this scenario from happening, and it's better to do anyways, like in matchups where your offlaner does not want to like straight up lane against the safe laner, which like this situation qualifies for. Like if your offlaner wants to lane, like if he's like, this is a good lane for me, then you shouldn't be doing this pull shit, because that lets the carry off the hook, like if the carry's having a hard lane. But in this scenario, specifically because of the heroes in your lane in this dynamic where like Slark is kind of does fine against Underlord, he's happy to like hit him and trade with him for the most part, then this is a scenario where you'd want to consider doing it. So that's what I'll say
Okay.
about that. And it's especially like it just ties into the whole like buying the boots first, and like it's like kind of that play style. You know what I mean? Like you buy the
Yeah.
boots and it lets you do stuff like that without like necessarily dying. So let's keep watching. So you don't bring any health regen back to lane, which is a... You just pop mangoes.
I think I was planning on leaving lane. Still level 1 though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could walk away here. So it's really important on pause 4. Like, it's kind of like when you play pause 5 and your main overarching job is to, like, do whatever your core needs you to do. Like, pause 4 is still a lot about that. Unless there's, like, something really important that you need to rotate to another lane for. So, like, there's no, like, 6-minute rune coming, or anything like that. So you can't just, like, you have to think about what your offlaner would want here, like, if you were the offlaner. And, like, this is kind of a dangerous situation for him. Like, you could argue, like, there's a huge creep wave, he should just kind of be waiting, and that you're
Yeah.
not needed. But, like, you kind of want to make sure you're like on the same page as him and like wait till it actually gets to a safer position before you walk away. Also, because you're only level 1, like I would be kind of looking to like sap more XP. Like you don't want to like sap XP just to do it all the time, but like being level 1 at 4 minutes is super garbage.
Yeah.
So like if this is your scenario, like you just need to like sap XP until you're not useless anymore. Like it's better that you quote unquote steal XP and then not be useless rather than like give him XP because you think you need to and then you're just like a completely useless hero for your team. Like you're a liability for your team like if you don't have enough levels, you know what I mean? So you
Yeah,
have to
no, I
draw the
get that.
line there. And it's not being greedy, it's just it's not being greedy, it's just doing what you need to do to like be effective in the game.
Yeah,
So there's a pull here. Yeah, this is just too dangerous, I think. I don't know if you... But I think in hindsight, you just can't go for this play. It's just way too dangerous. They're too far ahead. I think more effectively what you could look to be doing is stacking at this point, because you've basically just completely lost the lane with these deaths and your Underlord's death. So I'd be looking to like stack the lane, maybe buy a windlace and try and do some more dodgy shit and they don't catch you, but it's almost too late for that because they're just going to be fast enough with like boots that they'll have had from their lane.
yeah.
Okay, so you're
But
going to get a
also
pull
here,
off. This is good though.
the reason I came back, I thought I could have beaten.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I thought I could beat. That's why I came back, I think. 'Cause they were so far ahead.
Sorry, say that one more time. It just cut out in the middle or in the beginning, I
Yeah, no,
mean.
since they were so far ahead, I came back. That's why I came back. Because I thought I couldn't leave them.
I don't mind that you came back to like continue helping. I think that's fine. Like getting this pull off is good. You just have to play super careful to me. Just get a raindrop. I think it's important that you check the rune here. Like if you're gonna be there anyways, around 6 minutes. The 6-minute rune, I guess you guys had vision of it when it spawned, so maybe you didn't need to. The 6-minute rune is super, super important. Like if you can be at the 6-minute rune like every time, you're basically your games are gonna go a lot better. Sometimes you're doing something else anyways, but like in high level games, like supports like always make it a point to like be at these runes. So you TP. Okay. Kind of like help here. I don't mind this TP. You're being like particularly useful. Top. You get a pull. This is good.
This is when we start recovering.
Yeah. This is nice actually. This is like a good lane to rotate to because AM likes being able to be aggressive. So I don't think this TP is good. It's really important when you're playing support. If this goes for 4 or 5, but if you walk or whatever, or TP because you need to be there right away to a lane that's not your main lane, right? Like mid or bottom if you're pause 4. That's okay, but it's really important like to consider at some point like whether you're going to need to go back top like to your main lane again, or if you're playing pause 5 like and you needed to go top for some reason, it's important for that pause 5 player to consider like whether they need to be able to go back bottom. So you TPing back bottom basically says I'm never ever going to be able to go help top like, you know, for fucking ever, right? 80 seconds, which in laning time is like forever, right? So if you want to like come back bottom, like if you've made the assessment that you don't immediately need to like just go back to your lane, then you should walk here, especially because nothing was happening. Like you didn't need to like TP here. You know, nothing's happening. So like you TP'd here, and you know, you didn't really need to be there for like, that was like 20 seconds or something. Like if you had walked, you would have almost been here anyways. Or, you know, if you had been walking here and then a fight started, like at that point you could TP if you thought it was really important. But TPing from Fountain just declares that like, it just makes you useless to your original lane. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So in your head, you need to always like leave open the option of like, do I need to go back to like my starting lane, and give yourself that option. Or sometimes it's mid too, right? Like because you TP'd bottom, you could not TP mid and help mid if it needed it. So just gives yourself like very few options. So support TPs sub or like pre 10 minutes are just super important. Especially if you're like going to like not your main lane. Like it's almost always bad to like TP the way you did.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I could have waited, been more patient.
Yeah. Well, it should almost just be like you don't want to like walk. You want to walk out of base unless there's something that demands that you be there immediately. Like that should be your thought process as support, leaving base between like, because like if you just die in your lane and you need to go back to links, it's like 4 minutes in. That's like fine, right? You're TPing because you probably don't need to be anywhere else on the map between 4 minutes and 5 minutes. So it's okay to use your TP when you die in a lane. You're going back to your same lane. But anywhere between like 6, 7 to like 15, 20 minutes, it is super important to not TP out of base unless you really need to be somewhere. So that's just like a general support tips. You have a wand earn. It's a pretty reasonable item build, I think. So you're just continuing to play down here. This is 10 minutes. Okay, you get your ult. It's nice. Okay, Storm eventually shows up. I think that was reasonable though. So I'm feeling based on your camera you're gonna TP again? Bottom?
I think so, yeah.
No, you TP top. Okay. I think that you going top here is good, and I think you TPing here is bad. For the kind of the same reasons I described earlier. Like if there was a wave of creeps like hitting this tower or about to hit this tower when you TP'd, like that makes the TP worth it. But like when you TP'd, so you respawn right now. If you're gonna go top, like you don't need to be here right away. You see this? Like this isn't gonna be at your tower in the next like 20 seconds. You agree?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So you just walk. So I think you identify a good part of the map to go to. I think you just are TPing it too frivolously, and it's really important to have your TP up. I mean, it's almost a bad thing that you like show up here early, right? Like you don't really want this guy to be like hitting you. But okay, you're here now, getting some XP, which I think is good, and gold. It's a pretty aggressive wave clear, but given the information you had, I think it's fine.
I mostly did it because I had ult as well.
Right, right.
Sometimes I think I'm too greedy on bro with staying in lanes.
Yeah, that's my only concern is because your ult is up. I'm a little concerned that you're down here this long. I think here you just need to clear this faster. Like if you want to like come to this wave, like your team's doing okay without you, and you decide you want to clear another wave, I think it's fine. I think you just need to clap and clear this ASAP and then walk away because it's not an important lane to push out all the way. So I think you're just doing this too slow because then this next wave gets here and you're still here. If you are still here at this point, I probably would clap this wave or like W clap the wave. And even if you don't stick around to hit it, if you're like scared, like try and clear it before you walk away. If you're still going to be here. But like I said, I probably would have tried to clear the wave before this faster and then just leave. Because I agree you don't really want to be down here anymore. So this is kind of fine that you walk away. I just would have wanted you to have cleared it faster. And yeah, you weren't really with your team. So I think it would have been just better to like regroup with your team a little bit faster. Which just means like using your spells to like clear this wave. Like you had pretty full mana and a mango. So like I think you could have gotten away with it. So it's okay to like be a little greedy. Just make sure you have like a sense of urgency about like how fast it's taking you to do something. And then also like what your goal is, right? Like if your goal had been to clear bottom while your team was doing okay, but then be like, my ult's up, I like kind of want to be there. Like you would have just clapped, like W clapped, and then like, you know, maybe hit 1 or 2 creeps and then immediately started walking back, and you would have been here probably before Viper died. So if you just have the urgency, that's like really, really important to do things like quickly as you like get into Immortal, which I'm sure you understand. But like everyone's doing everything as fast as their brains work. So if you can like do whatever you're doing faster and get to the next place you need to be, like that will just make you a better player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's probably why we lost the fight, because I had my ult. I wasn't there.
Yeah. Cool. We're on the same page then. Okay, smoke. AMTP's bottom. Nice. I think this is fine. I don't know what your Underlord was doing there. I think splitting up and farming there would have been good. So let's talk about this. Everything keeps going dark. Let's go back a little bit more. Okay, so you've gotten the kills you want to get. You are not getting an objective off of it. There's a tower here. I don't know why it's freaking replay bugging out. Your Viper's dead. Your AM's chilling. And bottom lane is pushed all the way out. So there's not a lot for you to do here, you agree? So in these situations, I think you just need to orient yourselves towards what your team wants to do next. As a support player, it's super important to be considering this because as a support with both your wards and just where you go, you a lot of times determine like what your team will do. So in this scenario, or this moment in the game, based on everything like in the map that's happening, like what do you think your team should do next?
I think it's an item, and then we push. Like, I'm not sure what items he has right now.
Aim's got a Battle Fury. He's not that close to Manta yet. So he's not really looking to fight. But you agree you guys are kind of strong, right? Like the fights where all 4 of you together seem to be going pretty well, right?
Yeah, no, we're strong.
And like in terms of objectives on the map, what would be your guys, like obviously you're not pushing this tier 2 that's here, right? But like what would you guys want to do given the opportunity?
Yeah, we need to open up top.
Right, you need to take this tower, right? This tower that's still here. So to me, I'm like, okay, we got what we wanted mid. It's time to like split up and like, you know, reset. Viper's respawning. And like I know that like if this was me, I'd be telling my team like, guys, can we just like push top and like get this tier 1? Because like you have to take this tier 1 before you do anything else important in the game, right? You agree? It's like super important.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be telling my team to do. Like I'd be upset, honestly, that my AM is like hitting these ancients. I'm like, honestly, to me, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, there's a lane right here, and everyone's dead. So I think him jungling Ancients here is just shit. You shouldn't do this if you're a carry. But um, even if AM's not playing optimally, right? Like, what I would say if I was you, I'd say, team, let's push top now. Like, AM, push out the lane, and like we'll meet you over there, and let's take this top tower. That is 100% what I want my team to do next. And so what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to like grab a ward and like whatever I need to be able to fight again, which for you is not much. I mean, maybe you could get like a clarity, but you're pretty good here. And I'd be like walking towards this top tower. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be hoping my team comes with me. And what
Yeah.
that would do. Now let's go forward a little bit. And so your Underlord gets caught because he's being dumb. There's nothing you can do about that. That guy shouldn't have been there. But what happens instead is that nobody moves towards the top area of the map. Your Viper had respawned. Let's just check the order in which things happened. So Underlord died right as Viper was respawning. So this is kind of like, he kind of griefs what your team does next year, honestly. There's not a lot you can do. Although maybe if you had said, when we talked about, right? If you had said 15 seconds ago, like after you guys got your kills, like, hey team, let's go top, maybe your Underlord wouldn't have been here. So I'm not saying it's your fault that he was here, but there are things you can do, like, or say, that would prevent your teammates from doing dumb things, right? Like sticking around areas where they shouldn't be, right? If they are oriented towards the next spot on the map, they're less likely to be hanging around in super stupid spots on the map.
Yeah.
But anyways, this guy kind of griefs it, and then Viper just TPs to go farm because your main core is dead. But just say in an ideal world that you had said what we agreed that you would say, and like you're pushing in top, and you and Lion and Underlord are like walking through their jungle together. If that's happening, what happens here is like this Slark, who you don't see, does not gank your AM. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he would have seen you guys walking over here, and like AM would have like walked up this way, or like he would have had to walk through you guys, and he wouldn't have done that. Like if a Slark like sees 3 heroes, he's not gonna like just run through them looking for the carry behind. I guess AM was low jungling creeps or something, and Slark kills him or he dies in neutral creeps. But basically, I want you to see that this AM wouldn't have even died here if you and your team had been walking towards this tower, because this Slark would not have been able to TP here and then walk straight down here with nobody intercepting him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we would have put down vision or something.
Exactly. I mean, even if you don't put down vision, even if you don't put down a single ward, like the Slark just does not do what he just did if your team walks top. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
would be,
if you would set up for the next best play, you know, it would have just saved a lot of like grief, right? Your Underlord might not have died, your AM probably wouldn't have died, and then this whole fight just doesn't happen. Like, there's not much for me to say about like this fight other than like a bunch of stuff prior to this like went wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's all there is to say about it. This fight ends up going okay, but you bought back, you die backed. It's not a huge deal, I guess. Alright, so let's see what happens after you respawn. Walk bottom. I think that's okay, honestly. It's a little dangerous. They might like all kill you, but you're support. You're just trying to like clear it. I kind of like what you're doing here. It's really annoying. It's like getting dark. So I think here, as soon as you've like cleared this, which I think, like I just said, I think is good. Like I think this is good up to here. I think you need to be, again, you need to orient yourself. Like, it's kind of the same as mid. You guys were mid, you won the fight, you pushed it in, and you weren't taking the tower, which was the only thing left in front of you. So it was time to like reorient yourself towards what you want next on the map. It's the same thing here, although on a much less scale. Like you killed the creep wave that you didn't want to be pushed into your safe lane tier 2. That is what you came to do, and now you've done it. And so it's now immediately time to like reorient yourself to like what you want to be doing on the map. And so I will ask you again, like, what do you think, given the current map situation, would your team, like, what kind of moves does your team want to make next?
I think we need to like take a jungle. I was planning on dewarding our jungle, but since my cores are top, I should have gone top probably.
Okay. I don't think you're wrong. I just don't think that answered the question I was trying to get at, which is just like let's take a moment and look at everybody's items, because that can help too. So your pit lord is getting close to Gree. Oh, he's not that close to Gree. He's close to a mech. He's got pipe Atos and he's full resources. Your lion's got some good defensive items. He's got his ult. AM. I don't know what's going on with AM. He like, I don't know. AM's doing AM things. He might not be there anyways. And your Viper is, assuming he's disassembling this Dragon Lance, he's like 400 gold from BKB. Maybe that's what's happening. So like, given all that information, like what do you ideally in hindsight think like is a good thing for you and your team to do here?
Since we have ults, look for a team fight, and since under is strong.
Yeah,
Maybe smoke
yeah.
is 4 or 3.
I like that idea. I think well, so I'll just generalize it and I'll be like, look to play with your team, right? Like look to group up with your team and like make some sort of play. You're not gonna push a tower, like you're not gonna take a tower, but you can like, I think, yeah, like look for a smoke is basically what your team has to do, because you don't like you don't like walk up to a building and siege it like a DK would or something, right? Like you're not gonna walk down a lane and push it. You guys have to kind of like find them and fight them before you take an objective. So I think looking to join up with your team is what you need to be doing. And I would just be looking to see where I'd want to be going here. Because like if you're paying attention and like you're seeing like Slark showed here, I don't know what is going on with this replay bug, but like you see the gyro. If my like mid and carry are up here and they run into like enemy heroes, like you need to either immediately TP to be closer and start running over here, or like you need to start watching immediately so that you know if you need a TP. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like if you see
yeah.
this
I
on
think
your
I
mini
was.
map, I think you need to be like a little more aware of like what's going on. Because like if you're looking at this,
Yeah,
I mean honestly, maybe you don't save this guy. I think even if you TP'd immediately, you don't save that guy. So maybe it's not a bad thing you didn't TP. But it's important to be like looking to like make that kind of play to like TP, because like a lot of times it will be the correct play to like TP in that sort of scenario. But you just weren't even looking to like do it. You know what I mean? Like your player's
yeah,
perspective like didn't even look at it. And like
yeah,
this wave doesn't matter. And because your Viper's dead, it's like kind of okay that you're doing this. But if Viper wasn't dead, you wouldn't want to be down here doing this. So
yeah,
hopefully that's clear. So yeah, this is
yeah.
okay that you're
Clear.
still down here because Viper's dead and you're not really looking to fight them without Viper. So I think this is fine. Go base to get mana. I think it's good. And Viper's going to be up. So Viper's TPing. Viper must really just want to finish his BKB? That must be what's happening. Okay, you have some information. It's nice of the enemy to show. Did you drop a word down there?
I think I did.
Okay, you
Yeah.
dropped a word.
No,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think that had to have been you. You were the only one down here. That's fine. That's good. So yeah, I'd definitely be looking to smoke right now with my team. And that's something that you as the 4 a lot of times are going to be calling for. So like this situation right here, maybe it depends on where their mid creep wave is. Is there mid creep wave here? So yeah, their mid creep wave is going to meet yours here, and your Viper's actually coming back to you guys. So honestly, what I'm looking to do here Because like you said earlier, like your team's looking to or like we said earlier, your team's looking to fight them. So I'm calling for a smoke right here. As soon as this creep wave's dead, I'm saying, guys, let's smoke and let's like run to our Viper. Unless Viper specifically like, what is he doing? Okay, so Viper just finished his BKB. So I'm not gonna smoke this BKB actually. You didn't need to smoke there. Viper just needed to finish his BKB. So you're gonna clear this. Okay, so you're gonna proc it. So they're kind of like forcing it on your end. I would be looking to like fight here. Okay, so you guys do. This is good. I was like, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I guess I don't know Viper has BKB, but this is pretty good. Is he gonna fall anyways? He's probably just gonna fall before the root came up. I was gonna like be like, ideally you like let him go until the Pit of Malice is up, but probably would have ended before that anyways. Oh, this could be sick. Oh no, he's got BKB. We forced him to BKB. Okay, so your aim died. That sucks. Oh, we're not on your perspective. That fight kind of went okay. It didn't go that well. Alright. Wasn't your fault, though. I think that was a good fight to take. I don't think you did anything wrong there, so let's just keep going. Those are the kinds of things where it's like, there's nothing you could have done differently to like make that fight go better. Like the things that need to go better are like the mistakes earlier. Like if they don't happen, like your like AM didn't get picked off that one time and your Underlord didn't get picked off that one time, like those are the things where if those don't happen, then like that fight goes better. You know what I mean? So there's like nothing.
Yeah, we're stronger.
Yeah.
The other things didn't happen.
Exactly. Exactly. What is happening here? So I don't think you should leave top here. Like I think you coming up here and pushing this in is good. And like you're like they could be doing kind of whatever they want right now, right? Because your team's dead. So I think the correct play here is to want to push out top and make them come react to it. Like you'll see this a lot in like higher level Dota is like if a team loses a fight, a support will just like throw themselves up here and like push this in all the way. And the goal is to like get their team to react to you. And ideally not die in the process. But there's nothing that you as a support with your teammates dead offer anywhere else on the map, right? Like there's no productive use of your time anywhere other than pushing out this lane right now. Do you agree?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, other than if you were bottom instead, but like it's one or the other. You can't do both, obviously. So the idea here is like your team's dead. You should want to push out a side lane as much as possible to the point where you think you won't die doing it. And so a lot of time what that requires is kind of like waiting to like see what happens. So like here, I don't think it's bad that you like clear that and then walked out of vision. I think that's good. I think here you just need to wait. Like if you want to hit this camp, you can. You need to wait and see like if more heroes other than Gyro are going to like show on mid. Because like let's just pretend you're hitting this camp. Okay, so you see Slark, you see Gyro. Like to me, DK's dead, you see Slark and Gyro, and like Storm and Sky are like probably low from the last fight. Like they're probably not going to show up and kill you. So like you need to clear this creep wave again. It's just the only useful thing you can do right now is clear this creep wave and shove it into their tower. Because what this does is it makes a hero on their team want to go deal with it. And as your cores respawn, if somebody is up here dealing with it, it just gives you guys more information about what to do next. It means you could possibly take a fight where they're separated. There's just it's just all upside and like no downside unless you feed doing it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I
As
want
soon
you
as I
to
saw him, yeah.
so prioritize split pushing these side lanes more. I mean, especially in this situation, I'm not really sure what you thought you were doing here. You're like walking towards their heroes that are showing, but you agree you don't want to fight them, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
I
like
know I
I
told
just don't understand what you're even doing here. You're kind of like putting yourself
Radiant's middle tower is
close to
under
the
attack.
enemy and then like hoping they don't kill you, which is like just not. No, good things never happen when you do that. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. No, I get it.
And yeah, because you didn't push in that one wave, now top's pushing into you guys. Like this is the wave that you would have. This is the wave that you would have killed,
Mm-hmm.
minus the siege wagon. So this lane would be like up here, and like somebody on their team would like either have to deal with it, or you just have that much more information. If that, if it was up here and nobody was dealing with it, you would know that also. Um, and the map would just look a little bit better than it does now.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we spent a lot of time on this replay. Let's see if there's anything else. It's like good warding. Your team might take a fight here. It's reasonable. Get caught. Did you get stunned by? Oh, the rocket. I guess this just needs to be more of like a decision on your team's part. It's important in these situations to just be on the same page as your team, whatever it is. And it's like things like this where it's like it doesn't really matter like who's correct or not. It just matters that you're all doing the same thing. Like around this phase of the game, like 30 minutes plus, we're really close to 30. The main thing that matters in any engagement is like numbers. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So, like, if you guys want to defend this tower, like, your team would need to be here, and you guys would just have to, like, discuss, or, you just have to, like, if they're, like, ignoring you, or, like, somebody's bitching, and they're just, like, off doing whatever, it's a pub, like, you just have to take that as, like, the key indicator that you're not going to defend this tower. Because you had a lot of information. Like, you saw all of them here, right? You've seen them all here for the
Yeah.
past, like, 15 seconds, so if for whatever reason this AM and Pit Lord decide not to clear this, it is a little ballsy, but like I don't mind. You see them all here. Like you just saw them all and this guy rockets you. To me, like I'm like I need to like get as far away as possible. It's like kind of a minor thing, but like I mean maybe you just die here anyways. But maybe if you were like back here, they don't dive you. That's pretty minor. But like I would be not wanting to be here given like what my team's doing. You know? Like you have to
Yeah.
come to the conclusion that like, oh, we're not going to defend this building, and then play accordingly.
I thought I was tankier.
Gotcha.
Passive.
Yeah, they have a lot of damage on their team. Okay, so Viper lives. It's not the end of the world. You are a support. Watch like a little bit. Just not sure how much else is to learn. So the team does decide they want to fight here without you, and somehow it just works out. I guess because Slark just wasn't there, so they took a 4-on-4 and like won it. That's pretty sweet.
I think this AM carries.
Dyer's bottom tower's under attack.
Whatever happens in the game is whatever happens in the game. We're just here to learn about anything you could have done a little bit better. This is good. Clearing mid right there is very good. I really like what you're doing. It doesn't have to be you doing it. Like if somebody else in your team wants to go do that, that's fine too. But because nobody else was doing it, I'm really happy you did it. It's pretty good. Very high level shit. Like if nobody was doing that, I would have told you that you needed to go do it. So I think this is fine as well. They're respawning. So what? We'll do the exercise again. What of this phase is the main objective in the game? Sorry, say that one more time. It's like cutting out.
Roche. Getting
Roche.
Roshan.
Yes. Correct. All right. Um, so yeah, the only thing that matters at this stage in the game is Roshan. So I would want to see you wording accordingly. I guess you don't have any words. Hopefully your line puts them down. Like you should just play according to the fact that Roshan is the most important objective, and that can kind of look a little different depending on any given situation.
Yeah, I think here I want to finish my axe. Is what I'm thinking.
Okay. It's fine. It's nice. Nice to pick off on the vision. Oh, I guess he's not gonna die. He has a blink dagger. Let's see if we can fight. I think this is a good fight to take. Honestly, I don't think it's a good fight to take on either team's behalf because a fight down here between like 10 heroes like just means that nobody cares about Roshan to me. I think it's just funny that this happened. It works out for you guys, which is fine. Pushing. So I think here, after this fight ends, and your like split ends, right here. What do you think you should do?
We should call for Roche.
Calling for Roche is good. Because this is so far away from Roshan, I actually don't hate that your team decided to go push instead. Like, this objective is just so much closer. Calling for Roche is fine. It's not bad. But if you don't Roche immediately, I think there's still something that you should do, assuming
Get mana.
your team's pushing. No, I
Get
don't care about
mana.
the
I think.
mana. Well, you can fly yourself clarities. That's fine. Being fight ready again is important, so that's not incorrect. But I think you
Getting
should
ward.
just walk mid and push in mid. It's really,
Okay.
really, really important that if possible, you're always pushing in 2 lanes at once, just in general. You just want to fight. I mean, I guess if you just walk mid, maybe Slark can kill you? I would... Well, I want somebody on your team to push in mid, but I guess since Slark is alive... If this wasn't a Slark, if this was like a Wraith King or something, I would say you should go push in mid here. And like you just do it like really quick, right? You just like W clap and then you rejoin your team. And that sort of thing is like super impactful. Like it's hard to overstate how impactful that is. Honestly, in this game, maybe because they have a Slark and a Sky alive, maybe that's not a good play. So maybe in this exact situation you shouldn't have gone mid, but in almost any other similar situation, somebody on your team should have gone mid there. Like with you 5 heroes alive and them 3 heroes dead, somebody on your team should go mid and push it in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does.
Okay. Yeah, because Slark alive, I guess makes it a little awkward. So you have your Ags. You're so close to your team. This is fine. This is all good. You're pushing. You're together as 5. The only bad thing is that this is happening. Like this is the only thing that could have feasibly been different in this situation. Is if this, instead of these creeps meeting here, if they were meeting here, that would be much better. Because like if they win this fight, right? Hypothetically,
They can push.
They can push. They can push mid. It's a completely free Roche. I mean, I guess it's a completely free Roche for them if they win this fight, no matter where the lanes are. But this is pretty risky. Okay, so your team sort of gets out. Okay, alright. I think that's reasonable. What is happening here? What is happening? You run to kill the storm? Is he just completely out of mana, I guess? Did he just like fuck up and zip all the way across the map? Is that what happened?
He used the portal.
Oh. And somehow has no mana? That's weird. Okay. I guess it's fine that you come kill this guy. It's very weird. I was gonna say that you should go push out top. Um, Killing the storm there is fine, because that was opportunity became available to you. Just weird. But otherwise, you should have pushed out top. Let me just go back to that moment so you can like see kind of what I'm seeing on the map. So like you push in mid, which is good. So what should happen here is that you push in mid and your AM pushes in top. That's what should happen here. So I think it's fine that normally you'd walk mid again. But because your AM walked mid instead of to this lane where there's 9 creeps he could kill, I think you should go top. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I don't think you
it's a
should
lot of
have to go
fun.
top, but because nobody went top, you should see this and be like, oh, somebody needs to go there. And for whatever reason, my AM is like a moron. Like, I have no idea what this guy's... I don't know how this guy is looking at this map and not pushing top in. I just don't understand. Don't actually understand. But hopefully you understand what I'm seeing and why I think this... Like, this matters, right? Pushing in this matters?
Yeah,
Yeah, because, like,
yeah,
if
it
you want to
does.
take Roshan, like, you want this to be, like, here. That's really important if you want to take Roshan, which we agreed is the most important objective.
Hmm.
So just these,
Yeah,
like, small things of, like, playing the map better um, is, like, important. And at this point, like I said, I think this is fine, coming and killing this guy because he's an idiot. But here, and then here your Underlord TV's top, which is good. Um, so let's see what you do. I really want you to just be ready to fight at Roshan and ward around Roshan. So you come here and fight. This is fine. They're like trying to fight into your guys' triangle. That's all good. I still think getting a ward down. Okay, got a ward down around Roshan. I think you maybe could have warded a little more aggressively. But I guess they have a Slark, so actually I don't hate that. I like that you put a ward down around Roshan. Here, I think... So it's important that these lanes get pushed in. So like here,
yeah,
with your Viper behind you, I think... Like after you clear this, like after this, I think you just walk in this lane and like dare this Slark to hit you. Because like, you have ult, so he can't actually kill you. And your Viper's behind you.
yeah.
So
I,
it's...
I called the Viper back. I don't know why. I didn't want that fight. It didn't look good to me. I don't know
Yeah,
why
to
though.
me, I wouldn't. I just don't see this as being a fight. Like I see this as like both teams want to push this lane out, and I think you and Viper can make the Slark go away.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
that's what I see. Is like I'm not saying you and Viper need to try and kill the Slark. I'm saying I would walk at this guy with Viper behind you, and like he kind of has to fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's two of us, it
Worst
makes
case
sense.
scenario,
Yes.
you ult Viper. I guess Viper doesn't have BKB. Like, I guess Storm could feasibly show up, but like your Pit Lord could show up, with ult. I don't know what your Pit Lord's doing right now. This is really dumb that he's like down here. You guys should definitely be playing for Roche. And yeah, if I'm in this game, like I'm just calling for my team to like do Roche more often. Like I don't know exactly when it happens. I don't think being down here is good at all. This is no, this is bad. This is bad. You can't do this. Um, let's just look at the map so we understand why. So Roche is the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, you do have a TP up, but like your obligation, and this goes back to what I said earlier of the most important thing, like 30 around 30ish, 25, 27 to like plus minutes into the game. The most important thing for any fight is numbers. Or the ability to to be as 5 or the ability to be as 5 um, around objectives that matter, I guess, is like a caveat. So like your ability to be in a fight at the Roche pit as Panda with your team having only this tower up is like basically you just have to be here in the area. Like you can't be down here. Because if a huge team fight starts right outside the Roche pit, and you have to TP here and walk here, like the fight's over before you get there. You agree?
Yeah, it'll
Or
take
like
too long.
somebody, the fight is being decided before you get here. I mean, maybe your team wipes them down a hero or something. Crazy shit happens, but like you need to have the ability to be there. And like it's different if like you have no map vision at all and like they're like your lanes are really pushed into you. If like somebody has to come clear this and your team's playing really defensively while somebody's clearing bottom, like if that's you or whatever, like that's one thing. But like you do not need to walk bottom right now, right? Based on the map right now.
Yeah, it's pushed out, I
Yeah,
think.
it's pushed way out. In fact, you see it's so far pushed out that one of their heroes is reacting to it and you see him showing on the wave. So like to me, I'm like calling for a smoke. I'm like, guys, let's smoke and walk into their jungle. Like their gyro's not there. And granted, this guy has like travels, but it's like the same thing, right? If you can start a fight while you see one of their heroes like not there, like that is in your guys' favor. Um, so and like the idea is like go fight them or DK's dead. So actually DK's dead. You guys just need to walk into Roche right now. Actually, what is happening? Why aren't you guys walking into Roche right now? You need if nobody on your team makes this call, you need to make the call, and that means you need to realize how important this is, and this needs to be the only thing you care about. Like it doesn't matter what role you're playing, honestly. Um, like the team as a whole, like should recognize this. Like in my games, like 6.3K games, like when does DK even die? Like how does this even happen? This is the difference between like a high divine. This is like a high divine game basically, with a couple low immortals in it. Is like this DK dies, like I mean, you know, I'm not a god at 6.3K. There's tons of people who are like way better than me, right? But like everybody on our team is like, yeah, let's just go Roche. And like we immediately all walk to Roshan. Like if I'm in this game and I'm you and I'm better than everybody in my bracket, like if I'm smurfing and I'm you in this game, I literally will walk into this Roche pit and be like, team, come to Roche, and I'll ping it a bunch and I'll literally start hitting it by myself until my team shows up. You get what I mean? Like you
Yeah, I
have
get
to
it.
make your team
Mm.
show up to this Roche. I didn't even realize this DK like gets picked off. That's why I wasn't talking about this before. Where did this
Mm.
DK even die? Wait. Let's just go. Oh, this DK's dead forever. What? I totally missed this somehow. Sorry, this is important. That's why I'm going back. Oh, so it's this fight. They lose Gyro and they lose DK. Yeah, right here. Roshan.
Yeah, it's free roast.
Roshan.
Mm.
This is at 35 minutes into the game. Okay, so here, this is where I'll say it. They have 3 heroes dead. I am pinging Roshan. I'm saying, team, let's Roshan. And then I am walking into the pit, and I'm starting to right-click the Roshan by myself if I have to, while, like, spam pinging it until my fucking Viper and AM show up. Like, it's so important, and to me, it's so obvious. And if it's this obvious for you, you can make your team do it. But it needs to be this obvious for you. So hopefully in the future it will be. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This
I
point.
don't know how I missed it that time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the game because it was a replay and we're fast forwarding it. Sometimes you miss like key moments, so that's why I rewinded back to the key moment. But just here, like you just have to go Roche, and you have to convince your team to go Roche. By the way, are you just going straight refresher? Something you might pick
Yeah.
up is Wraith Pact if you're playing Panda, even like support Panda. Nobody on your team has one. The item's busted, still, even after the nerfs. So I would consider going a Wraith Pact at some point. And that also like plays more towards like Roche and like your team's ability to like uh, take objectives like that.
Yeah, sometimes I go. I think this time I wanted control. I don't know why. Or lockdown.
Fair enough. I don't play Panda a ton, so I don't want to like harp on your itemization. I'm not saying you definitely should have gotten Wraith Pact, but something to consider. So yeah, I think we should stop there. That was a lot for this replay.
Yeah.
How long has it been? It's been an hour. So if you want, I'll look at a second replay for you for a little while. I mean, if you just want to watch like the first like 10, 15 minutes of like another game.
I actually don't have one right now, so maybe another time.
Okay, since it's been over an hour, if you want another session, it's just gonna be a
Oh
brand
yeah,
new
yeah.
session.
For
Okay.
this session. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You're sure you don't want me to look at? There's no other game where you just wanna learn
Let's look
something?
maybe early game. Maybe one that I lost. Uh, Undying.
Undying.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. So your pause one is the treant.
Nature's Puppet.
So
That's
so
yeah.
so or sorry, yeah, nature's prophet, not treant. Okay, so you nature's prophet against probably like Snap Tiny or
Yeah, I think so.
Jakiro Tiny maybe.
I think it was Snap Tiny.
I think your items are okay. Sometimes fast stick is good. I like the mangoes. I think it's pretty reasonable starting items. What did you fly yourself? Where's your career? Here? Fairy Fire, interesting. Fairy Fire, Central Ward. I don't think Fairy Fire is very good on Undying because of the way decay works. Um, like if you want to fly yourself more with like the starting gold, I think the Sentry's good. I almost would just rather just have another mango. But because your like max HP is always going to be like high because of the decay, like
Yeah.
the regen you get from the fairy fire is like kind of trash. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
This is like a
Yeah.
specific to Undying thing. I don't think it's bad to have fairy fires pause 5 sometimes, but
Weird. I don't think I've ever done that on another game than a Fairy Fire.
okay. It's a random one-off thing. It's important to like try and pull in this situation, like when they're not really like contesting you anymore. Like you've kind of like forced them back, and the lane's pushed in, and the lane's met here. Um, this creep wave's already here, so I would either be looking to like pull small on the next wave, or like side pull, try and side pull this hard camp into the wave right here, so that it doesn't walk into their tower. Because that's just if it works, they're kind of fucked because they like don't really want to walk up and contest it on dying, right? And then B, if they try and stop it, it also kind of puts them out of position. So like it only favors you guys. So I definitely think you need to try and do the side pull here, like right here. Like you have time. If you just come hit this creep and then walk it over,
Yeah.
I think it works actually. Like I don't think they can even stop you. So that's a mistake, I think. And then since you don't do that, like if you don't do that, like you didn't think of it, you should be thinking of the next pull. Like this lane's pushing way in. They're not level 2. Like they're not going to go on your Nature's Prophet. Like right here, you need to walk over and pull small, which you have time to do still.
Yeah.
Super important on Undying to like not always be pulling because like you're doing good so far. Like everything you've done so far has been good. But then to like a lot of times this is the result of like being really aggressive is it shoves into them, and just playing for the pulls gives you the XP that you need because this hero really wants levels. And instead you're just doing nothing now. Unless you're planning on diving, but I don't think that's like that good. So you go for this pull. At least you went for this pull. This is fine. It's the next best option. Oh yeah, and this guy kind of even stops it, which is good for them. So yeah, if you had gone for the small, like you couldn't have done that, you know.
Yeah.
I like that you at least went for that, but like this did not need to happen. Because now this is like favorable for them. Like you should be kind of fucking them. This is good. I like what you do here with the creeps. That was really good to like draw those further back. But yeah, in this situation where you're not really diving them at all, like your opportunity for early aggression is kind of gone. Like right here, they're not really just gonna die to you anymore. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So it's just really important to like play for pulls. And this small camp pull is something you should be very interested in doing.
Yeah. My carry's pretty safe, so I could have.
Exactly. I mean, even if he's not that safe, like you can just tell him like, hey dude, chill, like I need to get this pull off. And if he doesn't, I mean, maybe he just dies anyways like that. He's an idiot. Okay, so now you're just getting the XP and that's fine. Oh, that glyph. Oh, did he do that on purpose? What's happening? Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know what the hell that tiny was doing. That was crazy. I was fine, I guess. Definitely looking for a pull here. Yes, good. Nice. At least you're trying. That's what I want to see. Even if it doesn't work, like you have to be trying to like make them stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah, here again, just go pull small. Like it doesn't work, your pull. Like they stop it, that's fine. Like just go pull small here. Like because if this lane gets pulled back to right here, and they have to be right here, like you can kill them.
Yeah,
Like
with some-
you just need a little more space on your tombstone, and for them to be a little bit further out of position, and they just die. So you're kind of like posturing aggressively without actually being able to then like punish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here this is actually good. You just need to drop your tombstone faster. Like once he starts TPing in basically. So like he TP's out. So like as soon as he starts this TP back in, because the tombstone slows, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Zombies.
if you does he start TPing like right now? Yeah, he starts TPing right now. Like right now, just drop your tombstone. Drop your tombstone. And they for sure both die. Honestly, if you drop it like whatever right outside the tower radius is, like right here, if you just drop it on this tiny, I'm pretty sure they both die.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them die. Okay, one of them dies. Yeah, you for sure would have got both there if you dropped the tombstone like 5 seconds earlier, which is about the time you had. I like that you're pulling here though. Good job. Technically, maybe you could have pressured this with Nature's Prophet, but I think it's fine that you tried to go for the pull there. But here, you know what I'm gonna say?
Well, yeah.
Go pull the small camp, dude. Like this camp, you like, hey, you didn't get the whole thing. Whatever, it's fine. Just go pull the small camp. It's right here. It hasn't. You haven't walked over to it once all game. So definitely just be a little more in tune with like wanting to pull the small camp more. I would have definitely flown yourself a salve there. With your items, yeah, you need HP regen. Your W is not enough. I don't care how much mana you have. The heal level 1 max is like garbage. It's like 60 or maybe 80 heal or something. It's really bad. So I would have flown myself a salve. It's really important to be like high HP on Undying, because like if you're not at high HP, you like can't be aggressive. So yeah, you guys like do well this lane, but like you actually could have done like way better.
Yeah. Oh, I made a couple mistakes.
Yeah, just not pulling and fixing the lane is what prevented your aggression from working.
Yeah.
Nice. So that works out anyways. Okay, do the good old-fashioned suicide.
I had a killing spree though. I didn't notice.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, I think
not worth.
yeah. I don't know. I don't do this a lot. But I think if you just waited a little bit longer, like especially because your Nature's Prophet wasn't even back yet. I mean, he's coming, but like you can last hit this like siege creep, you know. But if you wait like a little bit longer, maybe like just walk around here, and then like walk into the tier 2 or something. Like just make it take like 10 seconds longer, I think, and then like the kill won't go to him because he wouldn't have, because it's like within the time that he last damaged you, and then after you die, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 30 seconds, and actually the snap ended up carrying, so this probably helped him a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch a little more. So on Undying, I kind of like to leave my lane early-ish because you're just so high impact wherever you go. I like that you're walking bottom. I'll say that. If you want to go back bottom and keep trying to kill the snap or something, that's totally cool. I like that you're walking bottom. This is kind of what I was talking about in game 1. Like, if you want to do... And that lets you do something like this. It's like, show up. And I imagine you guys are going to completely fuck these guys. Yeah. So that was really good. Great job. You could have, like, walked top there as well. And, like, saved your TP for bottom. Either would have been fine. So that worked out pretty well. But I'm just really glad that you did that. That you saved your TP. It's really important. Oh, what is this guy doing? Oh, that was close. People really underestimate how much Undying level 6, like how much he hits for. Okay, so you use all your resources. Walking away. Not getting caught. Getting a base? No? What are you doing? Okay, so you're dewarding. I think you have to go base here. Like, you're wasting too much time. Like, here... I mean, I don't know who is, like, calling for this deward. Just Techies have a sentry. What is happening? Techies have a sentry. So, if somebody said they have a ward there, and you wanted to deward, I guess this is fine. But you need to, like... It's really important to be at full resources, like I said. And, like, I think you just walk base here. Like, nothing else is, like, immediately happening while your Nature's Prophet's feeding. But there's nothing you can do about that being super low. So it's really important that you walk back to base and you'll, like, have a TP ready again, and then you'll be ready to, like, play the map. Instead of hanging around here at 100, 200 HP. Like, this is super bad. And yeah, your heals for, like, 100. It's super trash. So yeah, this is really bad because you're like one of the strongest heroes early. So to like keep yourself on the map with like no resources, like eventually you get a salve, which is like okay. Yeah, now you don't have a TP. Like if you want to, let's say, keep going. If like here, honestly, ideally even earlier, if like here and you get away. Like, as soon as you, like, get away, like, here, if you want to fly yourself a salve and a clarity and a TP and, like, stay on the map, I guess that's okay. But, like, you need to, like, do it faster or you need to, like, go straight back to base. This wishy-washy, like, waste of time, because this is, like, 9:03. And you're just still useless. Still useless. It's been a minute now. It's been a minute. So for a full 60 seconds, from minute 9 to minute 10, you were just useless doing nothing for your team. Whereas if you would just walk straight back to base, you would have got back to base around like 9:20 maybe with boots. Maybe 9:25. You would have had TP. Maybe you don't need a TP out anywhere, but you could have like walked like... Well, you got both these towers. You could walk anywhere. You could walk mid. You could smoke with your invoker. You just have options. You know, let's just say at 9:30. Let's just say you're at base right now. If you're at base right now, your Earthshaker's farming his dagger. Like, I would just walk mid. Like, I just walk towards my team. And, like, you know, your Nature's Prophet's going to be respawning. And then you'll have a TP up and you'll be walking mid. And you'll just be at... You're ready to be at anything. Or you're ready to, like, cause shit to happen, right? You got Tombstone off cooldown. Like, you're looking to fight.
Yeah.
You guys could be smoking, killing this Jakiro right now. Like, this Jakiro should be fucking dying. You know?
Yeah.
Because you would have already been reset. You and Techies could have, like, gone on a little adventure. And, like, gone to push in, like, a lane. So, it's really important to reset after the fights. And again, be urgent about it, you know? Like, you don't have time. You don't have 60 seconds to waste doing nothing. It's just too important.
Especially as I'm dying.
Yeah. Okay, so you just get a TP. You TP bottom after the fight is, like, over. What is this guy doing? Oh my god. Oh, he lives. I think this is fine, I guess. I wish you'd been able to be here a little bit earlier, but LOL. And you died to a neutral. Nice. Okay. I think we can stop there. We covered the early game.